Welcome back to EGL Girl Talk. It's your girl Chey Parker, and today we have a super special guest in the building, Miss McCullough, Miss USA 2017, and also the founder of the STEAM program, Science Exploration for Kids. She's going to be telling us all about that, how she got this Miss USA title, and wearing this amazing crown that every little girl and every woman wants to wear. So stay tuned. It's going to be a good one. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for being here with us today. First of all, Miss USA 2017, how does it feel? It's been 10 months. What's the mood right now?
So the mood is surreal because all good things have to come to an end, and unfortunately it's wrapping up soon. But I will say I've had literally the most life-changing experience of my life. I'm extremely thankful for every moment of it, and I am just hoping and praying that I can continue holding out the legacy of my science program, Science Exploration for Kids.
Nice. So, of course, I did a little bit of research on you, and I know that you've been really into science since you were a young child, a lover of sports. Where did pageants come into play? How did that happen?
So pageants came into play when I was a junior in college at South Carolina State University. I actually ran for queen of my college, which was Miss South Carolina State. And truth be told, I was secretly always wanted to compete in pageants when I was younger.
Really?
The one time I did have the opportunity to do it, I remember reading through the paperwork and realizing that it was $900. So this was even back in the early millennium. And although we sent in half of the sponsorship check, I basically told my mom I don't want to do it because it was too much of a financial burden. When you add on the gowns and the shoes and the hair and the makeup, it becomes pricey. But, well, of course, when I became a grown woman, was able to sustain myself, I decided to go after the things that I've always wanted to do. And I told myself, we're no longer living with the what if. Go out there and try out for pageants, the dance team, cheerleading. Even if you don't make the team, you try it out, Kyra. So that's what matters.
Nice. So I know every woman and every little girl, we always see, these pageant girls, and they're beautiful and pretty much perfect, but a lot of us don't know what it takes to really get to, a huge pageant like Miss USA. What are some of the things that you had to go through that no one really thinks about when we think about pageants to get to where you are now?
Well, preparation is always key, and one thing I think a lot of people maybe overlook when it comes to pageantry is you have to have the full package. People believe that it's just a beauty pageant, that you can walk in, be beautiful, and take the crown, but it is now 2017, 2018. It's a huge paradigm shift in the way that we view people with substance. So people that aren't aware of how the pageant has changed now, you have to not only have the ability to walk on stage, you have to have the ability to capture a room wherever you go, have an ability to build a platform, have an ability to show your accolades and not be afraid to talk about your accomplishments, and get down on the floor and color with crowns with little children and give your sash away for little girls to wear. All that's encompassed in one, and honestly, you just have to be on your toes at all times.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And you talked about kind of not being afraid to talk about your accolades or your accomplishments. And I know a lot of times as women, we feel like we should take a step back and not boast or not brag. Right. Or sometimes we may feel almost fraudulent for kind of talking about how good we are at something, or really getting what we deserve, whether it's compensation or what have you. So what are some of the things that you've gone through in this experience that made you feel comfortable and confident in doing those things and being the baddie that you are and going after it?
No, you hit the nail right on the head, I think. And I will say the shift for me was when everyone at my agency had found out about me winning the local title of Miss DC. I was so afraid to tell anyone that I was running for it because I had this professional life, and I thought I had to keep anything I did extracurricular private. So when I saw the uproar of support from everyone in my agency, I realized that this is something to be proud of. And when I went on to compete for Miss USA, the support was even larger. So I realized through this process that you have to be transparent with your goals, your aspirations, be transparent with your accomplishments. People want to see you do good, and they want to see you do good if they see the good in you, and then you want to see other people do good. So it's like a big ricochet domino effect. Yeah. And that was really the time when I realized that it's okay to say, I'm Miss USA, I'm a scientist, I wear a sash, a crown, I do science experiments with little girls. I'm here with Chey right now. We're talking about all these wonderful things. She loves makeup. I do too. We both play sports. We do it all. It's okay. A little bit of cooking on the side, you know. We wear sweats as well.
We do. That's what I'm usually in. Right. So what was it like walking into kind of like the venue for the competition? What was going through your mind, like seeing all these beautiful women and knowing that, oh my gosh, I'm about to hit the stage, the time is now, like what am I doing?
Wow. No, seriously, I just got butterflies in my stomach just going back to that, because you just really put like a huge visual back in my mind. Literally,
I can imagine.
When I first saw the venue stage, it was like, this is it. You know, this is the wow moment. Now you have prelims, Kyra, and you have finals, and you have to kill it in prelims to even make it to finals. So I was nervous, and even after prelims, I was the last one out of the dressing room because I thought I did awful. I thought I wasn't even gonna make top 15. I was so afraid, but
I know all the other girls are probably like,
they were like, it was like, that's why I was first out of the dressing room, because I did well. But I was nervous. I was afraid because I wanted to do well that bad. I'm not even gonna say I wanted to win. I wanted to do my best. Yeah. And of course, you know, I showed up to not fail, but I wanted to make sure I was able to present my best. And it was just like so many emotions encompassed in one. It was fear, it was happiness. I wanted to cry. I wanted to cry tears of joy. I wanted to see my parents, you know. So I will say that was literally the most surreal moment of my life. And now that I have to give up the crown, it's probably going to be even worse.
So what's going to be next when you give up the crown? So before Miss USA, you still are a scientist, but you were working full time as a scientist. And what's sort of your plan, or what are you looking to do once your term is up?
So my bread and butter and my passion, all my eggs are in this basket to really take care of this program, Science Exploration for Kids. And the passion I have behind it actually stems from a childhood experience. I wasn't really the best math student in class, and I almost thought I had a learning problem. But the issue was, it was the way the material was being taught. So I overcame a lot of my anxiety in math when I was in the 8th grade, because I had this like phenomenal math teacher, and she just broke everything down step by step. And I actually use her techniques today when I tutor students. So I get like a lot of kids that are afraid of these math subjects that love English, and I help break it down. And I get so many messages saying how much they love math and science now. So the energy that I'm pouring into this program is because it's the passion behind it. And I do see so many children do love science, and they want to feel like chic geeks. They don't want to be afraid or bullied for liking these subjects, because typically women don't go into these subjects. Right. So we have programs that are tailored to the elementary school students, and as well as the middle and high school students. And for them, we're creating that pipeline from elementary to middle school, so the girls are still engaged, because the statistics shows that 74% of young girls are interested in careers in STEM, but today only 24% of women actually make up the STEM workforce. Wow. So we're here to, you know, change those numbers, shake up the tech system, get more diversity, inclusion against the genders, as well as racially. We have to make sure that the inclusion is there. And Science Exploration for Kids offers summer camps, after school programs, we have tutoring, we have career readiness and exposure, because sometimes you really can't see what you want to be if you don't see it. So I live by the saying that representation matters. So if you see that somewhere, know that I coined that.
Yes. Yes, I love it. And I love that the program has exploration in it, only because I feel like, you know, how can you really know what you want to do if you haven't explored different things, or, you know, tried out different things, or really been like in an environment where exploring and kind of discovering what you want to do and trying different things is accepted. Yes. Because I feel like for so long, you know, we're told, what do you want to be when you grow up? And it kind of feels like you got to stick to that. Right. And we're definitely moving away from that now. So that's amazing. So now you win the crown. Next day, it's this huge uproar about your answer about healthcare.
Oh, yeah.
And so, by the way, you handled it amazing.
Thank you.
Number one, because a day after winning the crown, I would probably be like, oh my God, what's going on? What did that feel like for you to have all that attention on, I mean, of course you were probably prepared to have that type of attention on your answer, but to kind of get the backlash you did, especially from the Black community, how did that feel, and how did you kind of move forward from that and be able to, you know, explain yourself so well when people ask you about it?
Yeah, I will say when it came to that, there's a lot of different things that we all probably need to sit down and have a round table about, right? The biggest thing that I think the answer did provide was a good opportunity for all of us to have conversation across the board. So I read a lot now about like policy and how the government works and jobs. I'm a big believer and a firm believer in job creation. Now, I'm never going to take back what I said, but do I believe I could have articulated it differently? Absolutely. And I'm not going to hold the fact that we're on stage for 30 seconds and 3 million people are watching, and I'm going to hand the person the mic that's been dogging me on Instagram about it and who probably doesn't have a job either because of the way the system is set up. So ideally what I was explaining is that healthcare should be granted to everyone, and I believe that the vehicle for everyone to get healthcare is through job creation. Who doesn't want to buy nice clothes, take care of their family, have opportunity to say that, wow, I produced this on my own, I have jobs, I have money coming in, I'm able to get this health care that I want. But it created healthy conversation, and I think that was the best thing for it to have. And as 26, 25-year-olds that we are now, we have to be more aware of where our money is going, where it's coming from, how the systems are set up, because we're brinking that 30. We're brinking now that retirement age of 50, you know? So,
oh my God.
Right.
We are. Like,
you know, but it was a healthy dialogue and conversation. Yeah, nice. But I will say, you know, everyone has their moments, and that was a time for me where I realized that this life that I had that was so private wasn't going to be private anymore, right? Yeah. And having the opportunity to go on Good Morning America and all these other shows to talk about it and realize that there are many people that supported me. Yeah, the thing about it is you only will see the bad on the internet, because that's what the internet's set up to do, to take down everyone. That's what tabloids are, you know? But I've gotten so much actual support from a lot of celebrities, industry leaders on that as well. And I will say that I appreciate them for that.
Nice. Yeah. Nice. I love it. So you also had a question on feminism, and you actually transposed the word to equalism, and I loved that. We talk a lot about that. I was actually having a conversation with a friend of mine about that, and it seemed like sometimes a lot of men almost see women empowerment as men aren't worthy or are worthless, and so how do you, especially talking to young girls, how do you approach the topic of, you know, women empowerment or being very confident in yourself, but also, you know, acknowledging that, you know, the men in our lives are great and that, you know, some things men can do, women can't. Yeah. I think it's a balanced conversation. Absolutely. How do you go about that? Because it's hard with the young girls because, you know, they're young and a lot of things they haven't experienced yet.
And that's true. And I will say my mother is the strongest person on earth, right?
Hey, Mom.
She can do she can do anything. I literally mean that. And I think when the conversation comes when you're having with little girls about what it is that they can do compared to what a man is supposed to be doing for you, we have to tell them that you have to be so much of a woman, so strong in your conviction of your strengths and even your weaknesses, that you're able to be confident in the fact that you can take care of yourself, and the person that's supposed to come into your life should be able to double what you're able to do for yourself. Mm-hmm. So I don't even think it's a conversation of, everyone, every man should be strippers, which I do believe that. One of my biggest pet peeves is when men don't open the door for me. Mm-hmm. I set up all my little nephews like that. I'm like, oh, come here. Like, I'm sorry. Like, we're just standing at the door. I'm like, I forgot to open. I'm like, oh, thank you very much.
I love it.
But I just remind them that everyone has to have respect for each other. And to have respect for other people, you have to first respect yourself. So I have lots of little homies, little girlfriends, and I tell them, I'm like, these young little boyfriends that you're arguing with, I'm like, girlfriend, cut it out. I'm like, go hang out with your friends. I'm like, seriously, you have to realize that all this anger, this hate that you have is temporary. with remind them that you have to be strong in yourself. You have to know that you're able to bring home bacon for yourself. You can go out and change a tire. You can cook dinner. And if you want to go grocery shopping one day or go out to eat the same day, you can do that for yourself. And that's how you teach women empowerment.
I love it. I love it. So now here's another question.
Sure.
What was the best part of preparing for the crown?
Best
Like,
part.
what was your favorite part that was like fun that you loved to do?
Ooh, that was fun. The whole thing
or
was
that you loved to do.
Let's say, oh my gosh, I mean, my schedule was crazy. I think if anything, like really going over interview with my coach was really fun, because that finally gave me opportunity to break shambles of, a fear of feeling that I can't praise my accomplishments or feeling like I'm being conceited. But they taught me that it's only conceit when you're not asked. Oh. So I think it was good breaking out of that shell. Yeah, okay. It felt good breaking out of that, because I've always just been a very coy person, just afraid to talk about things. And actually, the weird thing about it, this stems back to when I was like 8 years old. I was at my best friend's birthday party in Japan, and we were playing musical chairs. I won musical chairs, but I bumped the girl out of the seat, and she started crying. And I felt terrible about it. So I act like I was hurt, and I let her win. And I remember seeing her at the prize table. I won, na 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 na. And I remember feeling awful. I'm like, I let her win because I felt bad. So I realized I dumbed myself down so much just to make other people feel good. I could take that back to 1999.
You wouldn't have won, girl.
Best believe I would have won musical chairs.
I would have been in that chair and at the prize table.
Yes.
I like that. Okay, so once you won, and it's like all these other women, from all these other places and states who didn't win, was there any shade? Like, or was it any like congrats shade? Of course you don't tell us who it was, but
I mean,
you know how women can be sometimes, it's like congrats.
Yeah. I'll honestly say our girls in our class were very, very supportive.
Good.
Of course there were like awkward messages, but then again you really can't perceive tone through text.
Yeah,
so I had to relax my emotions, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe she meant this. We're gonna feel good about we're gonna say she meant this, but we can't perceive tone in text.
That's nice of you. Giving the benefit of the doubt. Usually we're like, no. So, okay. Second time Miss DC has won the Miss USA crown. Wow. What's the secret? And what are we doing to prepare the next Miss DC to take the crown? Yeah,
so the secret, honestly, the proof is always going to be in the pudding, right? One thing the DC USA system I have witnessed is that they let their queen be the best that she wants to be. They let her be so authentic. They're not asking her to get plastic surgery. They're not telling her to get a boob job or wear this type of dress or lose this much weight. They're literally telling us, you can be Miss USA. I need I need you to go out on that stage, rock it. When you get up there in the interview room, have that bright smile, show that right dimple, let them know that you are Parker, and you can win it. And they say just stay yourself. Like, talk about what you're doing at this wonderful set, how you're empowering girls through EGL, because that's what they want to hear. They want to see someone real and authentic. They want to know that their queen is going to inspire so many young girls and uphold this wonderful brand that has been built over 66 years.
I love it. Y'all watch out, 'cause I might be on the stage. Wait, what do I have to do first? I have to actually be like Miss DC first. Right?
Yeah, you got to win the state.
Okay. Yeah, so what's the process?
Sure.
So what's the process? Like, before Miss DC, what is it before that?
Chey.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, so I could just say, like, I want to enter
you can
Miss District of Columbia
send
pageant.
in your application and your check, and yes, you can enter.
Oh.
And you compete. So you
I'm not competing, but
contact your state. So if you're in Maryland or DC, it's the Maryland USA or DC USA, and you just go through their websites, call someone, you send a letter. Typically, a lot of these states actually have informational sessions as well as workshops. So you can show up to those. That there's always someone there that's going to either bring like a walking coach or interview coach or gown sponsor, so you can find out a lot about the process. The reigning queen should always be there as well for that state, and she's there to talk about the good things that the program offers. And you go on to compete in your state title, and your state title takes you to the USA title, and then USA takes you to Universe, and you compete against Pluto and Mars as well.
So what? Wow.
I was just joking.
I was like, wow.
Pluto and Mars.
All right, so next question. What was the thing that you hated about preparing for Miss USA?
Let's see. I dislike the most social media.
Okay.
When you're preparing, there's all of these pages that are like, oh, I don't think DC's going to take it. She's not fit enough, like such and such. Look at her hair. Or she can't take photos. It's like there's just so many naysayers. And especially I think those things are called message boards. I've only seen the boy board probably like 3 times because I one time Googled myself and then Miss DC after the first pageant trying to find photos. And then I came across these like message boards. Mind you, it's all anonymous, but you probably can pick up who's talking about you. But I will say those pages are awful because it's filled with people that are keyboard thugs. You know, like they're you can never see
Internet
their face.
thugs.
Yeah, they're like, she sucks, leave her. But you know, it's all good. Stay off all social media. Block everyone that's making you feel like you're inadequate. And move on with your life, and seriously put your best foot forward at all times.
Nice. So what are we doing to prepare for Miss Universe?
So
this is intense.
Well,
Miss Universe.
I did compete.
Oh my God!
I did. I got top 10. It was November.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's good. It was.
What was that like? How was it different from Miss USA?
It's different because now you're competing against girls all over the country. So I mean, one thing you have to bring to Universe is just that fuego. And yes, when I mean like these Spanish girls come out the womb just shaking and rolling, you have to compete with that because it shows confidence on stage. Their shoulders are back, and they're not afraid to wear their makeup and their bright colors and their big flowers. And they're out there showing off because I feel like their cultures are different in other countries, because I feel like here we have to be so reserved sometimes. Like we're afraid to wear stripes and polka dots because someone's going to say something, which I love doing. And like we're afraid of just wearing different colors and stuff, and I feel like in their countries it's just so much more accepted and just being free and vibrant. But Miss Universe was an opportunity that I will never forget. I still talk to a lot of my sisters. I'm really close with Miss Philippines, Miss Malaysia, Canada, Cayman Island, the list goes on. And my closest friend is actually the former Miss Universe, Iris Mitana, so she's Miss France, and that's my girl.
Nice.
Yeah.
So how many women compete for Miss Universe?
It varies every year, but my year was 92, and I think the previous year was like 88 maybe, or 84.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I will say, I prepared to realize that, there's just beautiful women all over the world, right? And when you're competing against these beautiful women that have nice clothes as well and a lot of sponsorships, you just have to be, like I said, like so set in stone in who you are that the material stuff doesn't matter. And I actually went through a couple of workshops with other girls, and it was called the PRUs, and was with the PR pageant coaches. And what we do is we had like nighttime like bonding sessions, but those sessions, you meet other girls and you find out about their stories and we all connect. But the best part about it was you finally realize that you're only in competition with yourself. You can be in a room with 1,000 girls, but you know who's going to stand out when you walk into that room.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I feel like pageants, the things that you learn can carry over into just life.
It's true.
Situations.
And the thing is, I used to be the one that judged pageant people too, even though I wanted to secretly do it. I thought that, a lot of them didn't have anything going on for themselves either, or they only cared about their looks. And some may have felt like that, but that's where you come in and you're the change maker. You're the one telling them that you can be a scientist and you can be on the Miss USA stage, and both they can work together, and that's what I've been doing.
Great. So how about your relationships and your title? So of course I know you've been crazy busy, and you had this private life before, your own friends, boyfriend, all of that good stuff. has it strained any of your relationships at all, holding this title and, you know, kind of fulfilling this new role and still trying to live your life?
No, for me it hasn't. I've always had like a very small circle. So I'm a military child, and it's always been difficult to just kind of hold on to certain people. But I do have like close friends from when I lived in Japan as a child, and I have like a few close friends from Virginia Beach that I went to high school with. But none of my relationships have been strained, and even if they have, maybe I haven't noticed it because I realized that if you just, you know, fell through the wire, then maybe we weren't meant to be close. Mm-hmm. I will say my biggest supporters, you know, are my mom and my boyfriend. Like, and I have another very close friend. She has her own PR company, Sierra Brooks PR Solutions. So I met her recently, and I will say that the synergies that we all have are strong because we've realized that we all want to do well, we all want to win, and we just all want to be able to have this brand and image that shows positivity in so many women, especially women of color.
Mm-hmm. So is your boyfriend like, I'm dating Miss USA?
My
girlfriend's Miss USA.
He reaches out to all the cool people,
Miss USA.
to all the good people, like, hey, you know, she won. Can she come by and for a photo shoot and come by to the restaurants and take photos? He does all that. I will say, like, he's the best one for that.
Nice. I love it. Okay, so we're gonna hop into our questions game. Are you ready?
No.
Okay. So here are the rules. I'll ask you a question, and you have to answer in 4 words or less, and you have to answer as quickly as possible.
Okay.
All right? Are you ready?
4 words or less. Okay, go.
Favorite movie?
Imitation of Life.
She's good! Okay. Favorite rapper?
Oh my gosh, I suck. Drake.
Okay.
Is he a rapper still, or is he like a singer rapper?
I mean, he counts.
Okay.
He definitely counts. As a rapper, he definitely counts.
He's Ja Rule Jr. No, I'm just playing.
Okay. Oh no, Drake! Don't come for us. We see this. Actually, there was just a post on the Shade Room about Ja Rule, and I was like, Ja Rule still looks really good.
He does look pretty good.
Yeah.
So he's really fit. It made me want to go to the gym, and I did go.
That's good, but you inspired me to be a higher me. I just look and I'm like, yeah, I'm still eating this ice cream, this sandwich. All right, next question. All right, do you like guys short or tall? Or do you not discriminate?
Right, is that a rhetorical question? Tall?
How tall are you?
Like 5'9.5".
Okay, yeah, so you gotta like them tall. You gotta like them tall. Okay, so if you had to choose any of these 4 things out of life, which one would you choose? To be wealthy, to be smart, to change anything you wanted in the world, or to change anything that you wanted about yourself?
4.
Which one?
Of course, intellect, to be smart. Your health is your wealth, so wealth is great because then you can now help other people in the world. I actually don't remember the other choices. What were the other 2 choices?
Okay, so we had wealthy.
Wealthy.
We had if you could change anything about yourself. If you could change anything about the world. But what was the 4th one?
Smart.
Smart, yeah. Or to be smart. So you said smart, intelligent.
That was 4 though, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, you had to pick 2.
Oh, see, I thought it was 4.
Sorry. Okay, we're going to try again. Now I'm going to switch it up. Okay, let's try again. Okay. I'm still going to include rich, though. So, rich, change anything in the world, get rid of one person from the planet.
Maybe 5.
Or be able to have any job you wanted to, ever.
Ooh, okay, you pick 2.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think the job part is definitely one, because there's so many different things I've actually wanted to try in life, and I've always had at the forefront longevity and taking care of like my family. Mm-hmm. So maybe having any job that I want, because I want to be able to experience the things I didn't get to experience. And the first one, definitely wealthy, because money is not the root of all evil. It's the love of money. So with that, you're able to change the world. You can build wells in Africa. You can make sure that all the children in DC are taken care of when they come home from school and having a hot meal. actually like an abundance of hot meals, and you can put money back into the science programs, and then you can double money, you know, so beauty fades, but we were able to take care of people with funding.
That actually covers, that was a good answer, because that covers like 3 of them in one, right?
Right.
All right, next question. What is your biggest pet peeve about men?
Like I said, when they don't open doors.
Okay.
And when they spray too much cologne. And cheap cologne at that.
Oh!
I'm just playing.
Listen, if you're trying to brush up on Miss USA, don't come with any cheap cologne.
No Axe, okay?
All right? No Axe. Oh, goodness. Keep the Axe in the shower. Keep the Axe in the shower. Maybe you don't even have it there. Or in Walmart. Just leave it. That's hilarious. All right. So very last question. If you could go back and change anything about your experience getting the crown, preparing for the crown, what would it be? And no, you cannot say that you wouldn't change anything.
Oh, no. Being honest, if I could really go back, I would have, like I said, just not been afraid to always wear my crown and sash. I mean, you would have caught me in the grocery store at 2 a.m. pushing a cart up in Whole Foods with
sash and with my crown.
Because people want to see it, and that's the thing. I've just been so afraid and nervous of judgment, nervous of having to, like you said, think I was fraudulent or something. But if I could take it all back, I would just really just go out every second I can and just wear this everywhere that I could.
Do people like recognize you now?
Yeah.
Is it still weird?
It's weird, and then but it feels good too, because I've been that weird person to somebody else. Like, I saw this model in the airport the other day. I've been following her work for years, because I remember thinking, like, she looks really different. Like, I've never seen anyone that looks like her. Mm-hmm. And I saw her, and I was like on the phone. I'm like, oh, hey! I'm like, wait, I know we both look bad, but I was like, I'm like, just keep up the good work, keep it up. She's like, thanks. I'm like, yeah, I love you.
That's great. So now for science exploration for kids, where do you see this program in the next 4 years?
I love that, and I love that because we talk about planning a lot, and having that short-term and long-term plan. So in the next 4 years, I envisioned, what I've written down basically is that just like I had this workshop, on March 24th, we're going to have this globally in different cities every month during the weekends as well. And having it really impacted throughout the DMV area. So having the after-school programs in place where it's plentiful kids coming through, and they're getting the experience and hands-on science experiments, learning coding at a young age, and learning how to build bridges and having the engineering portion. And I know I'm really pushing for those 2 parts, because next summer we're also building out a program where we're having students think of a real world issue, or maybe have a product that they want to develop, and they go through and put the package together, and then they pitch it to other companies to get fundraising to build the product.
That is amazing.
Yeah, because entrepreneurship is really taking over now.
It really is.
It just opens critical thinking for students.
It really is. So tell us one thing or 2 things that we do not know about Miss Kyra.
2 things that we don't know.
That we would be surprised at.
It's always so hard when someone asks you this question.
I know, like, for me, is that I eat ketchup by itself.
I used to do that.
Really?
In elementary
All right,
school.
At this point, we're, like, from the same place.
Yeah, okay. I can't do it anymore, though. 2 things.
Ketchup.
I am literally infatuated with truffle salt. I have some I carried in my suitcase.
Really?
So y'all got hot sauce, I got truffle salt. Like truffle salt in my bag, okay? Yes, I'm real bougie like that.
So do you just whip it out when you're in the restaurant, like excuse
little
me.
Potatoes?
Nah, I need a little bit of something else on them.
And let's say I used to have 12 hamsters when I was like 8. My dad brought them home one day. Don't ask why.
12 though? 12 of them?
It was weird. I kept them in the cage all day. They had like this big cage. Mm-hmm. Like, we lived in Japan, and someone brought them to him, so he brought them to me, and I was happy. So, and I had 2 turtles as well.
So what happened to them? So I had a turtle once, and I'm not going to say, like, what happened to him because I might get picked up for animal cruelty. But, you know, bless his heart, rest in peace, little turtle. He did not last long.
Oh.
What happened to the hamsters, though? Like, when you moved, did you have to give them away?
Oh, yeah, we gave them away really fast. Yeah, I think
you attached?
You know, it was a different experience, so it was different. It even came. Well, first we started out with 2, and I remember I made like this really nice hut for them. I put newspaper all inside. I had like this huge wooden like barrel type of thing, and I put newspaper all inside of it. I got hay, and I was happy. I was like, wow. But somehow I guess the hamsters, one of them climbed out or whatever. So, but it ended up by my bed at night, like scratching like my dad's leg. So, But yeah, it was like one day I had 2, and then I had 10, and then the next thing you know, they were all given away to somebody else because we were leaving.
Aww.
But I will say my closest friend growing up, Davita Joanne, actually took the turtles, and her dad really took very, very, very good care of those turtles.
Aww,
yeah.
Turtles actually live a long time.
They do. They are very...
Don't ask me what my problem was. I think he was just like over it. He
Oh,
was just
no.
like at this point.
I realized you have to have a lot of water for turtles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So thank you so much for joining us on EGL Girl Talk. There's so many more amazing things in store for you. We can't wait to see what you do. And congratulations on everything.
Thank you.
Is there anything else that you want to tell the people? Where to follow you? Where can we keep up with you?
So you can keep up with me on my Instagram at Real Kyra McCullough. My Twitter is just Kyra McCullough, as well as Facebook. And you can follow our website at SE4K.org to find out about future programs. And also you can request us in different cities and schools as well. And I just want to say it was a pleasure hanging out with my kinfolk over here, Miss Parker.
Hey.
My mom's a maiden Parker. But definitely thank you for tuning into EGL Girl Talk. I've had an amazing time. So make sure you guys continue to come back. And hey, this set's amazing. So maybe you guys can come on set one day too.
That's right. Thanks.
Thank you.